Welcome back to Talks and Tales. This week I'm here at Jordan Bikes and we've got the lovely Nick with us who's going to tell us a bit about Jordan Bikes. So how long have you guys been going? What kind of services do you offer here?
Easy one. Since 2003. Opened in January of 2003 on a cold winter's day.
Yep.
So 23 years now. And we sell just second-hand bikes, and that's all we've ever sold. And we service them and we tune them, and we have a clothing department as well.
Nice. So are you seeing that used prices or used bikes are stronger than say, I know you don't sell new bikes, but are you seeing there's a much bigger market for used bikes than there is for new bikes then?
There always has been. When we first set up in 2003, there were loads of new dealers everywhere, and then they were kind of down at heel second-hand shops that you'd walk in. It was an old terrace house with bars on the windows. It smelled all oily, and those were kind of your two options: new or that. There was nobody doing nice, clean, mint second-hand bikes in any numbers in any kind of nice, presentable showroom. So we kind of blazed the trail there.
Yep.
There's loads now. There's loads of factories now selling them and whatnot. But at the time, we were the only one doing it. And it was the way to go because new bikes have got more and more expensive, and not everyone's got that kind of money or even wants that kind of money in a bike.
And I think that's evident in some of the sales, especially in the UK and across Europe, that it does appear that brand new bike sales do seem to be kind of at their all-time low, if you like. Are you seeing any kind of trends with the used bikes then? Are they still going out the door as quick as they were a couple of years ago? What are you seeing? Are you seeing still a constant pickup?
We're still as busy as ever.
Yep.
After the lockdowns, it went absolutely crazy. I think everybody came out of lockdown thinking, sod it, I'm just treating myself. Life's too short not to.
Yep.
And everything sold. Literally every piece of clothing on the shelf sold, every bike in here sold. We just couldn't replace them fast enough. That's settled down now. We've gone back to pre-lockdown kind of sales, but we're still busy. I think we've sold 23 last week, and it's just
nice.
It's busy, and I do understand why, because bikes have gone the same way as cars, and that the demands put on manufacturers now to make them so efficient and so safe and all the extra bits they have to have, and it just costs so much more money to develop them that the new prices have gone up and up and up. I saw an advert on Facebook the other day for a new Multistrada, and it was a guy flying down the bend. It all looked nice, and it said only 29,999. It's like, come on, 30 grand for a new bike.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's just bonkers. So I get why people buy second hand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to buy a new one at 30 grand, knowing that within 2 weeks it's worth 25 grand.
Yeah.
Straight away the government takes 20%.
Yeah.
And there's a massive loss there. Now I know you're not buying it as an investment. If you want to invest, you buy gold or Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not an investment. They are a toy, but still. You don't want, or personally, I'm from Yorkshire, I do not want that toy to just dump in value as soon as I've bought it.
I always wonder if there's a bit of a trend around people wanting more simpler bikes rather than, you see like the Multistrada will have so much technology built into it, anti-wheelie, ABS, traction control. Have you seen people maybe trying to go to a bit more of a basic and raw kind of bike rather than something with so much technology in it? Have you seen that as maybe a trend?
Different people, different things.
Right.
People that are coming back to biking, people that are in the 50s, and we're getting a lot of those, don't want this. They want something that reminds them of when they were a kid.
Yeah.
So they want it to just go, stop. That's it. They've all got ABS now, they have to have ABS.
Yeah.
But other than that, some people do just want the simpler, easier bike to ride without all the faffing. And I even class myself as that. You buy a new car now, first thing you got to do is dick about for 25 minutes, programming it all and signing in and all that. It's like, come on, I want to just ride it or drive it or whatever. So I class myself in that category. I want it to just go.
My current bike is the MT-09 Tracer on 2016, which I did buy from you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But that is the first bike that I had that had ABS on it. Every other bike previous, the old R1, the old Phaser, they all did not have ABS on them. So this was the first time that I've had a bike with a bit more technology in it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it saved me any time. Maybe once when I was getting a bit giddy coming around a corner and felt the back go. But apart from that, it
is a good thing. There will be the odd time it saves you. I don't ride in the rain. I'm just a proper softie. If it's wet out, no, not for me. But for people that do, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It will save you when you don't even realise it's saving you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think the kind of elephant in the room really is obviously we've seen that bike theft has kind of increased a little bit. What kind of things would you recommend to people when they are coming to buy a bike? What kind of security would you recommend immediately, straight off the bat, you know?
The biggest lock you can afford, basically. A lot of people will buy a bike and think, I'll buy a lock later, and they'll soon regret it.
Yeah.
Not many bikes are stolen out of garages, believe it or not. Most of them are side of the road. You've nipped into the newsagents thinking, I'm only going to be 2 minutes. Guess what? It goes.
Yeah.
We sell a lock called a Beast Lock. It's ridiculous. It's like a world's strongest man thing. It's so heavy to lift.
Yeah.
And most of those we sell to people that have just had a bike nicked.
Yeah.
And it's after it's gone that they think, I'm going to now lock it down properly. But if you lock it down properly, chances are they just won't bother. They don't want catching, basically.
No.
And if they get caught in the act, it's taking too long, they'll move on to somebody else.
Yeah.
But most of them are stolen out in the open, broad daylight, brazen, because they're not locked up properly.
Yeah, yeah. And to be fair, I think I mentioned to you before that the last time I had a couple of guys try and break into the garage, I was straight up here and bought some decent sized locks.
Yeah.
I think just mention, you're talking about a lot of bikes are being stolen when they're out and about. I think for me is always like the weight of the lock, which obviously you need the weight of the lock to kind of be a deterrent. But in the same sense, you're carrying it. So I always kind of think, what other things are potentially out there that we could kind of carry around with us that's a bit better? But you see some that are like a concertina thing, you know, like the old kind of meter rules where they used to roll out.
Yes.
And they look like they're compact, they come up to about this big, and you can wrap it around something. But I'm always quite nervous of the joint. You can think, is that the weakest point? Can people just easily pry it?
I get you.
Yeah.
But they do get tested, and there's different levels of testing.
Right.
For me, biking's a pleasure thing anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah.
So if I went riding somewhere, if I was at a bike cafe or whatever, it's amongst loads of other bikes and you can keep your eye on it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you're having to ride for a living because you're commuting, you're going to work and you're parking in the city centre, that is when you need a big lock.
Yeah.
If you're out in the countryside, chances are it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Most of them are nicked from city centres during the day.
And you're right, it is a hobby, isn't it? And you know, people are going out and going to like the local Squires Calf, and there's probably like 50, 60 plus bikes there, and everyone's there.
Oh, if someone tried to nick a bike there, they'd get battered.
They would get battered. They would get battered. It's fair, most motorbike meets are the same, aren't they? Everyone's looking out after themselves, looking after everyone else.
I don't particularly think thefts have gone up either.
No.
They've always been there, but everything's on social media now.
Yeah,
there's so many groups for stolen bikes and things like that. They've always been nicked. Cars have always been nicked. Look at Range Rovers. If you looked at the figures on those, you'd never buy one.
Yeah.
Thieves have always been out there. They always will be. All you can do is kind of look after your stuff and make sure that they steal somebody else's.
And you are right. Social media is a massive thing that kind of gives us that news really quickly.
Yeah.
Like even yesterday, not related to motorbikes, but we had a power cut at home, and normally you just think, oh, that's bloody annoying, never mind. And then it was only an hour later that I saw on social media that some guy climbed up an electricity pile.
Oh, Brighouse. I saw that, yeah.
And obviously you would never ever be none the wiser that someone had climbed up an electricity pile. And if it wasn't for social media, you'd just think, oh, they've had a power cut, never mind, it'll be back on in 5 minutes. But you are now acutely more aware of the reasons why certain things happen.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, the guy got down and he's okay.
Is he all right?
Yeah, yeah. I saw the comments on there, some people putting, oh, let him jump. It's like, no, the guy's going through some problems.
Yeah. If you
get him down, just talk to him, whatever. Anyway, he's down, he's all right.
Is he? Oh, that's good. That's good. So you've seen quite a few kind of first-time riders and return riders. What kind of age range are you seeing that? Because I've always had the impression that there's always like a bit of an ageing demographic for motorbikes. Always kind of like...
There has been over the last 10 years, that's for sure, and I think it's the price of them.
Right, okay.
A second-hand bike, I'll give you an example, like a Fireblade, I used to sell them new in 98, 99 when I were a nipper. And a brand new Fireblade then was 5,995.
Yeah. A
brand new Fireblade now is 20 grand.
Yeah.
So it's no longer a hobby that a 20-year-old can afford.
Yeah.
It is an expensive thing. Part of that is inflation, of course. Everything's got more expensive. The pound's devalued and da-da-da. But it is a more expensive thing now. So your typical biker now is older. And even like a 125, like a YZF-R 125 now, they're over 5 grand for a 125. It's bonkers.
So are you seeing the kind of an older demographic coming in and buying the smaller bikes then, rather than jumping to, say, the bigger bikes?
Buying all sorts.
All sorts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tests last year were 90,000 people passed the bike test. So
right, okay.
There's still a lot more people coming into the market, but it's not just kids, it's a lot of older people as well.
Right, okay.
It's a full range.
I do sometimes see that, and I don't tend to pass judgment. When you're out riding, you see some, like, you go to, say, Squires or a other place, you do generally find, say, someone maybe of our age jumping on a large bike, could be an R1 or you know, a GSX-R 600 S-Rad,
Yeah.
and they look a little bit unsteady. You know yourself, you can watch someone, you think you look a little bit unsteady.
Yeah.
And I always wonder if like they've just recently passed a test, or they've had a long spate of not riding, they've jumped, they thought, you know what, I've got my license anyway, or I've just got my license, I'm going to go out and buy one of the fastest things I can get.
Yeah.
My advice to friends when they've said, oh, I'm going to buy a bike is, look, I know you might feel silly, but go and get a smaller bike first, get yourself used to it, and then build yourself up to it.
Totally agree.
Because like a 600cc motorbike is a GSX-R 600, my old S-Rad, I think that was 110 horsepower.
Yeah.
You know, on one wheel.
The Lamborghini fast, aren't they, really?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it is nuts. I think I many years ago, when I was at college, I had a GSX-R 600 S-Rad, which is why it kind of brought me back there. And I was in Bradford, and the guy pulled up alongside me in a Ferrari.
Right.
And he were giving it big licks, and I thought, well, I'm not going to, I'll out-accelerate him, but I won't, you know, absolutely leave him for dead. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave him.
And how old did you act?
I acted 5.
Right, okay.
But what I will say is, when I got to the queue in traffic, I then started to filter. But the noise from that Ferrari was beautiful as it was flying up behind me.
Yeah.
It was very, very nice.
I would urge all new bikers to do a track day as soon as they can.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't want to because I don't want to crash my bike, I don't want to fall off. You're just likely to fall off out on the road with the potholes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we once sold a bike to a girl, and she'd always been a little 125 rider and always kind of followed the gang of fellas around, and they were waiting for her, and they accepted her into the group, but really it's like, oh, she's holding us up again.
Yeah.
Anyway, she bought an SV650 and said,
Good starter bike for that.
please can you deliver it to a track day for me? I want to just do a track day because I want to just show them all I can ride.
Yeah.
And we took it to Woolton Park, and she came, and it was her first ever track day, and we were all there. And from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, she absolutely transformed.
Wow.
And we saw her a few weeks later, and she said the guys could not believe it. They thought it was somebody else on my bike.
Someone else behind the
Literally getting knee down everywhere, and the confidence just went off the charts.
Right.
And it made us so much of a safer rider on the road.
Yeah. It's knowing that those limits, isn't it? And I think that
Well, you're never going to get to know them on the road, no.
No, you are right.
But most bikers, even though they might blame a car and say, oh, the bit of gravel or a car pulled out, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
If we're all really, really honest, chances are it were our fault.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you've gone into a bend too fast, panicked, braked, sat upright, and gone into a bush. And you could probably got round it.
Yeah.
But unless you're familiar with leaning over it that far, then you won't do it, you'll just crash. Whereas chances are you can get around it, and if you've done some track days or even just one track day, you'll really learn a lot.
Because when I made that jump from 125 to 600, I made exactly that mistake. It was up at Queensbury, and I came down a road. It was like a right-hand bend, and I'd seen a quad in the distance. I thought, I'm going to catch that. Again, I was being a 5-year-old. And then I went around the first corner, I'm like, spot on. Got to the next corner, started to lean it over, and I just started to run wide, and I panicked. And what I should have done was just stay calm, relaxed. You know, the tyres have got far more grip in them that even my own head couldn't imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I panicked. I bottled it up, right, exactly what you just said. Slammed all on. I got the back end slid out, and I ended up dumping it and grassing it in a tree. I was luckily fine, and to be fair, the bike was fine as well. Just popped a couple of rivets on the exhaust. I managed to kill enough speed to drop it and then go over the handlebars.
That'll do. You got away with that.
I got away with that.
What did we learn?
Don't be 5-year-old. No, I think just go steady and don't act like a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, isn't it? I love that saying. What was it Casey Stoner said to Valentino Rossi? Your ambition outweighed your talent. I love that saying.
Yeah.
I love that saying.
That saying will live on, will that?
Yeah, absolutely will. Absolutely will. So are you, obviously, for me, I see a lot of people riding like slightly more sport tourers and adventure bikes over kind of like these. Are you seeing that kind of trend in the second-hand market as well, or is it fairly well spread? It's
fairly well spread, but you're right that there's loads of venture bikes out there. If you go to Hawes or places like that on a Sunday, you'll just see R1250, R1250, R1250. But your average BMW rider likes to buy them from BMW dealer.
Right, okay.
So it's not our biggest seller.
Right, okay.
Even though you look at market trends and we read Dealer News, it tells you what's been registered and everything. And for those that don't know what that is, it's a trade magazine. We get it, it tells us all the registrations, where the trends are going. what's selling, what's not.
Yeah.
And things like the adventure bikes are the biggest sellers.
Right.
Other than 125s, because tons of 125s always sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've all stocked 3 or 4 R1200 GSs, R1250 GSs.
Yeah.
But for us, the biggest sellers are things like MT10s, MT09s, Z900 RSs.
Yeah.
The middle of the road. Well, I say middle of the road, they are bonkers really compared to 20 years ago. They are a super bike. But the ones that are a bit more comfortable, go really well, brake really well, handle really well, but they're a bit more upright.
Yeah.
For people of our age, let's say, that want a bit of comfort.
Absolutely.
Those are our biggest sellers by miles.
Yeah. I noticed when I was riding the R1 and J6Rs, and I leaning over a bit too much, and I felt it in my wrists and my shoulders. But
they're fine for a short trip, but super bikes, I won't ever say they've ever had the day, but they'll never sell again in numbers they did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when every bike out on the road was a Fireblader or an R1. I think there's so many more speed cameras about now, and you just don't realise how fast you go. And you get on one of these, and you go like that, and you look down, and you're doing 100 and whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas on a naked bike, the wind hits you, and you get the same thrill without going that speed.
Yeah.
So I don't think super bikes will ever sell as well as they used to. We'll still sell plenty of them, but not compared to the naked stuff.
That makes absolute sense. So one thing that you guys have got here is you can see you've got an amazing workshop, and I've personally used the dyno, not me personally being on the dyno, but I've had my motorbike on your dyno as well.
Cool.
Yeah, is that something that's really heavily used quite a lot?
The dyno?
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Bikes nowadays just come so restricted from the factory.
Yeah.
And it's a massive shame, but emissions rules are so strict and they vary throughout the world, so they have to make them to sit underneath the limits of the strictest one.
Yeah.
In this country, there's no emissions test on a motorcycle for the MOT. Yeah. Who knows whether that'll be the case forever, but it has been the case forever so far. So because of that, the first thing you can do when you buy a bike that's just not running properly is get it remapped and get it running perfectly, basically.
Yeah, and to be fair, when I had mine done, I think you'd given me an extra like 10 horsepower, and I was getting quite a lot of snatchiness from the throttle, and that just smoothed right out. So yeah, it's been riding absolutely perfect.
Well, the reason that the snatchy is for the homologation, they test them at a certain rev limit.
Right.
So a lot of manufacturers will turn down the fueling and make them really lean around that rev limit.
Yeah.
Because they know they're going to be tested for that, and they're going to be sniffing the exhaust and seeing how fumey it is, basically.
Right.
And then beyond that, they'll then let it run properly. So as you're going through that mid-range, you feel this awful, like, it's just nasty.
Yeah.
And if you're on a straight motorway, it's nasty. If you're coming out of a bend, it's even worse, because you're trying to get some power out of the bend and lift it up.
Trying to be smooth, and you can feel it being a bit
You can't
snatchy.
be smooth.
No.
So the amount of people that buy a brand new bike and bring it straight here for mapping, there's a lot. They know what they're buying. They know they're going to run badly.
Yeah. Do we think that they're going to probably bring in that emissions testing for motorbikes? What do we think?
I've no idea.
No idea.
There's been no talk of it.
No.
I think more than that, they'll kind of force everyone onto electric vehicles, but even that's 15 years down the line. So who knows?
Yeah. I haven't ridden an electric bike, to be fair. Have you ridden one?
No.
I
don't want to either.
No.
I'm just not that bothered.
No.
I appreciate they go like stink, but for me, it's a lot more than that. It's the sound, it's the feel, it's everything. I'm just not bothered.
Yeah, I agree. No, I tend to agree. It is that noise, to be fair, the noise of the bike, because you're kind of going through the gears, and that's one of the main things for me. Like being able to like lift your visor up when you're kind of flying up to the Scottish Highlands and stuff, and you can hear the bike, you can hear the wind, and the thought of just kind of doesn't really appeal.
And tunnels, what can you do in a tunnel with an electric bike? Nothing.
You are right. Yeah,
That's what tunnels are there for.
I have a habit now. You know, Leeds Bradford Airport.
I do.
Tunnel. Yeah. Oh my God, the bike sounds amazing in there.
Exactly. What would you do on an electric one? Nothing.
This is true. So do you think people are bringing the bikes in them for purely more power then, and for better sound, or do you think it is literally just the feel of the bike?
A bit of all sorts.
Right.
Some people do want more power. The 1299 Panigale, for example, straight out of the factory, even with a standard exhaust, standard catalytic converter and everything, we can get 40 horsepower extra.
Wow.
By changing a few things in the ECU. Nice. That's nice to have, because it's there, it's capable of it, and that's perfectly within safe ranges. We're not risking anything there. It's still got the warranty and everything.
Nice.
But more than that, really, it's about the mid-range. Because realistically, you cannot ride like that on the road. You just can't. There's too much
can't.
power.
Yeah.
You're riding at 40% throttle, 30%, 50% maybe.
Yeah.
So the mid-range is where we really focus on trying to get it smoother. And more power as well, but mainly the smoother. And you do get some people booking in saying, can you make it flame? They literally don't care how it runs. They just want flames.
To keep flames.
Yeah. We can do it. It's not ideal, but if they're the customer, they want to pay us, that's fine. But it's not ideal because it means you're using too much fuel.
Yeah.
And you've got too much fuel on the overrun. 'Cause it does it when you close your throttle.
Yep.
So normally you close your throttle, the injector's closed and less fuel goes through.
Yep.
If you want flames, you let more fuel go through unburnt. So it's not running properly, but some people genuinely want flames.
Right, okay. I know my my old phaser used to, it was really cold on a morning, and if I joined the motorway and then rolled the throttle off quickly, I had a friend say to me, he's like, you see flames coming out the back of your bike. I'm like, I didn't want that to happen, but...
If it flames, it's not fueling properly.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll see a lot of like World Superbikes and MotoGP bikes flame, and it's basically because they want the power when they come out of the bend.
Right.
So they do leave the injectors open. So
Right.
when they roll off, there's still quite a lot of fuel going through. They don't care about fuel economy.
Yeah.
They just want power when they roll back on again. So the injectors are left much wider open than they would be on a road bike, and that causes unburnt fuel and the flames.
Right.
But on the road, it's not ideal.
No.
You're going to get noticed.
Just a bit, yeah. So you guys have got an amazing workshop as well. Do you work on a full range of bikes?
There's some things we won't work on.
Okay.
If someone's got a 40-year-old thing that looks like it's come out of a canal, we just won't.
Yeah.
Because you just know you're going to snap a bolt and you touched it last and all that.
Yeah.
So we do try and work on things that look like they've been looked after already.
Yeah.
If you've looked after your bike, we'll look after it too.
Yeah.
Chinese bikes are getting better,
Okay.
but at the moment we don't work on Chinese bikes.
Okay.
Similar reasons, you just try and take the back wheel off and the nut snaps off.
Right.
They're just not made of the same
cheaper
stuff.
Chinese
Yeah,
metal.
it's the metal they use and the processes they use. It's not as good as the Japanese and the German and the Italian stuff. It is getting better though, so we might review that.
Right.
But for the moment, we just don't work on Chinese stuff. Other than that, we'll work on them all.
Yeah.
Servicing, tuning, whatever.
Do you see a lot of people coming in wanting to kind of tweak suspension settings and tweak that? Is that something you guys do here as well?
We don't, so thanks for mentioning that.
That's all right. Sorry.
No, it's absolutely fine. We send them to a place in Keighley called Firefox Racing.
Right, okay.
And my own bike as well has been there.
Right, okay.
So those guys know their stuff inside out. It's not something we've ever done.
Yep.
We've looked into it and we've just decided not to.
Yeah. It's a very personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very, very personal because I know that the MT-09, it was a bit soft.
Yeah.
And I think I did make a few phone calls to try and see if someone could tweak it. And
We can do basic settings, but if you want it set up perfectly, we'd recommend going somewhere that is an absolute master at it.
to be fair,
and we're not.
I did get told, oh, you need to spend, not by you guys, by another company, oh, you need to spend X amount to kind of sort it out. I'm thinking, I don't want to spend that amount on it. So I spent ages just tweaking a few bits, riding it, tweaking a few bits, and now I've kind of got it far better than
Perfect.
I needed to.
Yeah.
But you are right, it is a very, very personal thing. I know if you probably jumped on my bike, well, this feels awful.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it is
Most people don't get it done.
No.
But they should.
Yeah.
Because it does absolutely transform a bike.
Absolutely.
I mean, things like this with electronic suspension, you can faff with the buttons anyway. But most bikes that don't have electronic suspension, people just jump on them and ride them and they won't ever realise how much better it could handle for their weight and their riding style.
Yeah.
So for 50 quid, it's worth getting done.
Yeah, 100%.
Next subject.
Next subject. So I know that this is quite an open-ended, how long's a piece of string, but obviously with costs rising and bits and pieces, what would you say to someone who walks in here, has just done their bike license? What would you say would be the cost to get them on a reasonable bike and kind of geared up, ready for riding? What would you kind of say would be the ballpark figure for that?
I wouldn't say there was a ballpark.
Yeah.
We sell bikes that are £20,000. We sell bikes that are £2,000.
Yeah.
What they buy is up to them.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of helmets here just to show the avid viewers. As an example, this is an £1,100 full carbon fibre helmet.
Nice.
And if you were about to crash, you'd probably want your head in that.
Yeah.
It's the truth of it.
Yeah.
But you can get a helmet that looks very similar by MT, which is perfectly certified, perfectly safe, and it's £90.
Yeah.
And it looks just as pretty, to be honest. Technology in it's not quite as good, but it's still safe. It's still accepted as being safe enough for the road.
Yeah.
Stamped up and everything. So that's the difference, and the
You
choice
are
is
right.
theirs.
Yeah, and
really.
you are right. It is another personal choice, isn't it? You know, you can go and buy a cheaper helmet, or if you are cash rich, you can go and get yourself a nice £1,000 helmet.
But the same goes for boots, gloves, and everything.
Yeah.
I'll put that back there. You can spend £300-400 on boots, or you can spend £100, and it's totally up to the individual.
Yeah, yeah, and the same with gear as well, isn't it? You can go and buy a full leather suit, one piece for X, or you could buy it a lot cheaper elsewhere. Or you are right.
Some of it is just a brand name.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. You can get an Alpine Star suit or a Dainese suit for £1,200, and you can get a suit which is still AAA rated. So if you're sliding along the ground, it's just as safe.
Yeah.
For £500 or £600. The difference is the brand, the colouring on it. It might fit a little bit nicer because the leather's a bit softer.
Yeah.
But safety-wise, sometimes you don't have to spend crazy money.
To be fair, leather suits, as soon as you get a new one, you'll know. You get a brand new one, you're like this.
Oh, they're awful.
They're awful.
For a while.
Bloody horrible.
Yeah, wear them around the house.
Yeah. You imagine someone walking past your house and just seeing you walking around in a leather suit. A bit weird, isn't it?
I'm wearing it in.
But you are right, the bloody, and to be fair, even boots are uncomfortable when you first get them.
Yeah, it's squeaky.
Yeah.
Boots can take years to wear in properly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there, to be fair. Absolutely.
So yeah, for £500, you could get helmet, boots, jacket, gloves, everything you wanted to. Perfectly safe enough.
Yeah.
And then upgrade as time allows.
Yeah. So what would you recommend if someone was just, let's say they've got their restricted license, so they're only allowed to ride a 125, what would be your pick of the crop in here to kind of, what would you recommend to someone as a first time 125 bike? And then we'll do the same for the 600.
No, that's fine. It depends what they want. Some people do want a YZF-R or a KTM RC 125. They want it to look like that, but be a 125.
Yeah.
And budget's no issue.
Yeah.
Some people just want to get to work or just get some miles under their belt and whatnot, and they might buy a TG 125 or a Yamaha YBR 125 for a couple of grand.
Yeah.
So it's just totally down to people's
absolutely.
choices and budget.
And then what would you say for like a 600cc bike? Would you be, you mentioned earlier the SV650. I always think that's a really good first big bike, if you like.
Yeah.
It feels, I've not ridden one, but it's quite forgiving is what I understand.
Definitely, there's the SV and Kawasaki's ER6, which is now a Ninja 650, basically a 650 twin. Plenty of mid-range, not too much top end, and just a nice starter bike.
Nice.
Enough fun to have for a while, but not enough to get you into too much trouble.
Yeah. Are you seeing like a change in trends slightly with people like Freddie Dobbs that's riding the Triumph Bonneville, and I mean, I think you touched on the BMW GS as well.
Yeah.
There was a massive trend, wasn't there, when Charlie Barman and Ewan McGregor went and did the around the world trip.
Yeah.
Those BMW bikes, everyone wanted them. Are you seeing any particular trends now from any particular influencers that are kind of leading the way?
As in influencers?
Yeah, influencers. Yeah, is there any particular bikes that you're seeing people are coming and going, I really want X?
I don't think so,
No.
but there's been nothing on TV like that long way down, long way round.
There hasn't.
Since then, and it definitely had a big effect at the time. KTM turned down a deal, I believe, to supply the bikes, which they're probably kicking themselves forever. In the same way that Carl Fogarty turned Ducati around, I think Ewan McGregor and Charlie Bowman really
turned
BMW around. The sales went crazy, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Harley tried to do the same thing, didn't they, with the was it the live wire?
Yeah.
But I don't think that quite worked, did it?
It just
did you watch it?
It hasn't.
From South America all the way to.
I didn't watch it.
You watch it. It was quite good, but they were having major problems with charging.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it took off as well.
They're not practical enough yet.
No.
When they can get the range bigger, they'll sell more.
Yeah.
Until then, I think they're just a bit of an expensive.
Yeah.
Waste of money, but it's my opinion. Why would you?
Yeah, I agree. So are you seeing a big trend in people preferring to buy bikes online rather than coming into a showroom then?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the internet's done that. And we sell more bikes, I think, further afield than we do locally now.
Right.
Because someone in Cornwall, for example, or Arbroath, previously wouldn't have been bothered to drive all the way up here or down here for a bike. Whereas nowadays, quick phone call, yeah, it's what I wanted.
Nice.
We'll send them a walk around video. If it's got a little mark on it, we'll show them, we'll be dead honest.
Yeah.
And if they buy it, we'll deliver it straight to them.
Nice.
So yeah,
So
I
that is
think
a service you offer as well. You will deliver up and down the UK.
Anywhere on the land, as in.
On the land.
We've got a company who will take it to Ireland.
Yep.
If people want to Ireland want to buy, but our own personal van will deliver anywhere, UK mainland, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, people are getting inherently lazy and just want to sit at home and click,
Press a button,
buy it now, and have it brought to the door. And I get that. And
I think people are becoming impatient though, aren't they?
yeah,
They
want it
probably get a
now.
phone going, can I have it in about 2 hours time?
Yeah.
If you live in Cornwall, how am I supposed to get it in 2 hours time?
But buying habits have changed, so much.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, if I wanted a little nut or a bolt or something, you'd be driving around shop after shop after shop. Nowadays, no need, just there's one.
I remember
so
having
easy.
to order something and it'd take a week to arrive, and
Yeah.
and only if the postman was on time.
Yeah.
Then it'd be like the next week, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, darn it."
Everybody's got a lot more impatient and a lot more demanding and a lot more expecting. And we've had to raise our level because of that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't deliver it quick, somebody else will.
Yeah.
So you've just got to keep with the times, and if people want it, you must deliver it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been
No
great
problem.
to talk to you. And
How much am I getting for this?
free cup of coffee.
Okay.
Out of that machine over there.
Yeah, fine.
No, thank you very much, Nick.
You're welcome, no problem.
It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, man.
All right.
Yes, cheers.
Thank you.